Welcome to Custom Home Builder Solutions, also known as CHS, a job costing, full accounting, and profit management software for the professional home builder. This video is going to be a more detailed video about the estimated cost at completion, or the reason that I say you would have CHS is to have that estimated cost at completion worksheet, which sort of gathers everything together that I was trying to do. I did an overview video, but now I'm going to get a little more detailed and look at some things and talk about how CHS is gathering the numbers and how it calculates what the current estimated cost at completion is for a cost center that you have set up either on your budget or posted costs to, etc. First of all, I've opened the help document that you can find behind help on the estimated cost at completion worksheet, and I want to go to the second page because I actually just want to use this page and talk verbally about it. Like I said, the most important benefit of CHS is that it instantly relates all of your accounting data to the builder's budget/estimates, the vendor bids, change orders, purchase orders, in order to provide immediate information. And I left the accounting data is your actual job costs here. And this is providing immediate information about the changing status of your estimated job costs. And in order for a builder to make sound business decisions and be able to watch how their profit is being revised, the estimated profit and where it's headed, either up or down, is dependent on using something like figuring out what your current, as of today, your estimated job costs are. You can first of all have a budget, but as you do various things, your estimated costs at completion kind of can be revised, and a builder can either run around with a scribble sheet trying to figure that all out. Well, I budgeted. I don't like it when it does this. Every once in a while pops that up while I'm doing a video. Anyway, they could run around with some sort of scribble sheet saying, well, I budgeted $10,000, but now I know, I'm going to have to give a PO because of the bid for $11,000. So now this is going to cost $11,000, which means I need to make up another $1,000 somewhere else. Or I've done some change orders and put a pretty good profit on those, and so that's going to help my profit. Or I've posted actual costs more than what I budgeted, so that cost is over and I need to make it up somewhere else. There's various reasons that your estimated costs at completion are changing. You could issue a change order and estimate what its cost will be. You can agree with a PO to pay somebody more or less than the budgeted amount. You could have some variance due to theft or vandalism or damages or shortages of materials or some trade error that didn't get back charged like it should have, a superintendent error, job budget errors or omissions, or overpaying a trade, which shouldn't happen so much in CHS because of all the over budget alerts in the program that you would accidentally overpay some trade or supplier. And to monitor the above changes and their effect on the estimated cost of completion can be just an overwhelming task. Like I said, you could keep creating scribble sheets or have somebody creating massive spreadsheets, or the builder can put their hands on the estimated cost of completion window in CHS and instantly see all of this information gathered for you. And if you do need to do a little scribbling, there's even a column where you can enter the revised amount because you just know the amount's going to be revised because of a recent discussion. Right here, since I was just doing this on a help document, I'm trying to show you how, say your plan costs are $3,000, you estimate the cost of some change order of $500 for plan costs. So your budget plus the change orders is $3,500, and you issue POs for the same amount. You've only posted $1,500 of the costs, but your current estimated cost at completion is $3,500, and that's calculated basically by CHS because it's still got this amount. You can check mark in CHS that this cost is done and then this estimated cost at completion would change to $1,500. In this case, the builder talked to somebody and knew they were only going to have to pay $7,500, so they used a column, which I'll be showing you in a minute, and typed that in, and that number will rule as long as the actual posted costs are not over what the builder typed in. In this case, there was $5,000 budgeted for paint, $300 estimated cost of a change order. Together that was $5,300, but they issued POs for $5,400. I've only entered costs of $2,000, but the estimated cost at completion is $5,400 because you've done a PO for that. In this case, there was a budget for $4,000, budget plus no change orders, POs for the same amount, but you posted actual costs by entering bills, etc. of $4,100. So as soon as this is higher than other things along the line, this is what your estimated cost at completion will be as far as CHS knows. Now, for some reason out in the field, you know you're even going to have to pay more. You might issue a PO for more, or the builder might just type something in, and then the ECC will react and change. Now, notice how our cost to date in this little example that you've actually posted for job costs is $10,600, but our estimated cost at completion is $20,500. If you just take the budget plus estimated change order cost of $20,800 and subtract $10,600 from it, you would show a variance of $10,200 under. This doesn't really tell you much until the job is completely complete, because you're actually expecting more costs in. And what does tell you something is the estimated cost at completion that are changing in reaction to various things that you're doing compared to your budget plus COs. And it's actually showing that we're expecting to be $300 under than what we've been estimating via the budget and the estimated cost of the change orders. That does tell you something every day. And the job being estimated currently to come in under $300, and maybe you would have a bigger amount, you could know when to promise extra frills or not early in the job. I just wanted you to know about this page because it's a little bit of a simpler look at what estimated costs at completion are. Now I'm going to go to a live window. So let's go back to our program. I'll click this Budgets Estimates. And I'm going to go to the job we've been using. We haven't posted a lot of things because it's just a demo job, but I found Vista View, and I'll click the ECC Work button, which means ECC Worksheet, and we call it ECC for Estimated Costs at Completion. And I'm opening that for this demo job so we can take a little look at it. Now here's all your various costs going on, and just like we saw on that thing, there's the original budget, here's change order estimated costs, total budget, total POs, the place that the builder can scribble the actual costs, and CHS is coming up with the estimated cost of completion. These numbers are all being gathered for you and brought in. It's not something you're having to type in some spreadsheet. This comes directly, the actual cost comes directly from accounting, the budget comes directly from your budget worksheet. When you create change orders, this is the cost, etc. What I'd like to do is let's just focus in on one line, and I'll make a few things happen so you can see what CHS is doing. Let's look at the slab contract. We had an original budget of $30,576, which we can drill down on, and we can see that that was based on slab square feet, 3,822 slab square feet times $8 a unit price. We can also see that we put, this is a cost plus job, and we put a markup percent on what this times this ended up equaling for the budget. This is the number we're looking at when we're looking at our own estimated costs at completion, $30,576. We can also see there's been a change order. We can drill down on it, at least one change order. There could be more than one that affected the slab contract type of cost, and that we estimated $2,400. we did write it up 25% for the price to the customer. It's showing the profit. And remember, the change order that will show up here for slab contract will be your estimated costs, not what you'd put as a price for the customer, because this is your estimated costs at completion worksheet, your costs that you're trying to watch and see where the total costs are headed, the ECC, the estimated cost at completion. You can see totals down here going on. I could drill down and see all of the COs, the change orders for the job. I can drill down and see the entire budget. I can drill down and see all the purchase orders. I can get an actual job cost report for everything, for all the cost codes by clicking on that, which is going to list all your bills and stuff that you've posted so far. But let's get back to this line. So we had total budget, means the original budget plus the budget for the change orders is the total budget. We can tell that we have issued POs for that exact same amount. We budgeted based on what the slab person had told us. And we have two POs, one that's called a budgeted and one that's called a change order. You can click on these to drill down to see all of the information about that PO. I'm going to come back and be talking a little more about that in either in this video or another video. So we have the same for the budget and the POs. So right now our estimated cost at completion is that $32,976. We can see that so far we've posted $5,000 in actual costs, and that outstanding we still have $27,976 because we paid that $5,000. If we drill down on it, we can see that it has been paid and what check number, etc. But let's do something. Let's go ahead and drill down on the purchase orders. And let's say for some reason we were doing this at 300 slab square feet. That change order was for an added sunroom, and we did a PO based on the $2,400 that we had estimated. But let's say they come back and say, not for this sunroom, we're adding it on, we're going to charge you $9 per square feet or something. Let's go to the item, the one item that's behind that $2,400. And let's say slab square feet. We don't want this because this is for the change order. We'll just select slab square feet. Because it found that the slab square feet for this job is 3822, it dropped it in for convenience in case we're doing something else. But let's just change this. Let's just change it to $8.50 so that now our PO is for $2,550. Let's make it just a little bit different so that we can, it's for $2,700, and we're going to save that. For some reason we tried sending them a PO for that one at $8 per slab square feet for this added sunroom. It's a change order PO. But now we talked to them and we said, okay, we'll go change our PO and pay you a little more. So therefore, if I close this list of purchase orders that I drilled down on, the ECC worksheet will refresh itself, and we'll take a look at this line now. Remember that it was $2,400 that we budgeted for that change order. We estimated it to be $2,400, but we, and this plus the original budget is this amount, but we just now went and changed one of the purchase orders, so they're coming in higher than that, and our ECC has adjusted to be the total of these POs because they are higher than any actual cost that we entered, and higher by $300. So suddenly you see in red the $300 over here. It's part of the over budget that's happening. There's also some that are under, so it's pulling it down here. The total for the job, we are estimating it to be $890 over today based on what we know today. So that was me changing that PO amount. Of course, if that happens, you might go back to that change order You estimated a total profit of 600. That tells you that now this change order you'll only make a profit of 300. You might decide that that's okay with you, or you might decide to go back to the home buyer and say it's going to be higher to do the slab part of this change order, or something like that. Of course, that's up to you, but this lets you know right away, why is that? As you're reviewing and putting your hands on this estimated cost at completion. Now let's do something else. Let's go ahead and say, let's change that PO again. And maybe we suddenly got some good deal. Instead of them telling us it'd be higher, they said, oh yeah, we like working for you. We'll do that for $7 a square foot. So let's go back to our quick item. And let's play like we didn't do that other one, and we'll change it to $7. So we're going to make more on that particular change order, aren't we? So it's changing the PO, and it's recalculating that, and when we close, I'm making all these changes so I can show you how CHS is immediately reacting to things out in the field. See how this is now lower, 32,676, the total POs, than what we budgeted, what we have budgeted for the change order and the original budget. And if I want the ECC to go ahead and reflect that lower amount, right now it will take the higher, either of the total budget or of the POs or of the actual costs, and use that as the ECC. But if I check mark to use POs, it means I want to use the POs as my ECC. And it has changed. This 32 ECC has changed to equal the total of the POs. And it's showing that it's under the original budget stuff by 300 instead of over. So you can see how it immediately took care of that. If you change that PO from anywhere and open the ECC, CHS will already know this. Whenever you do a checkbox here, and we'll talk about this one here in a minute, CHS will hide the total job totals, because in case you're doing a lot of check marks, we don't want to add time to refreshing these totals down here. So it'll go into a button letting you know you need to refresh your totals after you've made a change like that. Now notice that our over budget has gone down really by 600, because a minute ago when we looked at it we were over by 300 here. Now we're under by 300. That's really a difference of 600. So that's what happens either if you issue higher or if you issue lower. You can tell what happens if you do a change order, that it gets, the estimated cost gets added. Now maybe the builder knows something else, has talked to somebody, and maybe they just talked out there in the field, and whoever they were talking to said, you know, we're just gonna make it a flat $30,000. I don't know. So the builder just knows that, can immediately type in a revision and some notes. If they like, these are some other notes I'm going to talk about in a minute, and cause everything to get overridden by the fact that you're saying it's going to be 30,000, and it'll immediately change the ECC to 30,000. So now we're showing under by minus 2976. If these actual costs get posted and they are higher than what the builder typed in as the revision, then of course the actual cost will start becoming the ECC. But you can, or I could have typed in a higher amount. You know, all of a sudden they said, nope, we're going to charge you 35,000. We've been having issues with you, you know, and the builder really would probably want to write some notes about this. So let's close that. And now you see we're going to have, all of a sudden we're going to be over budget by 2024. We're estimating to be over budget just because, so this is all you have for your scribble sheet. Instead of tons of scribble sheets you're trying to run around and do. You can, of course, always be controlling this, but if you just know something and want to get it in there real fast, I just changed it back to 0 so we don't have a revision in there. But if you want to know real fast your bottom line effect of some things you know just out there in the field, or you just don't use POs and you want to go ahead and use this, then type in what you know today as far as what you think your ending cost is going to be despite what you budgeted. I would like to, I think you probably get a pretty good idea of how CHS is calculating the estimated cost at completion, but if you click on it and drill down on it, it's going to explain to you the original budget, the estimated change order cost, this plus this equals that, but the original budgeted, here's your budget plus change orders plus any variance purchase orders, and the total of your purchase orders is shown here. It shows that there is a check mark that I did to use the lower of the POs, since these were $300 less than what we originally budgeted. I had check marked it. So it's showing that the higher of A or B, anyway, it's breaking it down. It's explaining it to you, just what I did verbally about how it came up with what the ECC would be. It's going to come up with an authorized amount, then it's going to compare the actual cost to it. If they are higher, you'll see that the estimated cost at completion will change to the higher actual cost, and all of that is explained over here for you. But it'll try to give you a little explanation here of how it came up with that. I really am going to talk more, we're going to post some more actual costs to this line, and we're going to talk about some information that's really handy for making some decisions about whether you check mark these as done or not, behind this button here, which is going to show you notes from all over the place. But I really wanted to just spend a little time and just use one line and show you how CHS is calculating the estimated cost of completion. Let me just check mark this and then I'll uncheck it, because it's one thing I didn't mention. This is the total posted costs that we've had so far. We could drill down and see them. If I check mark that as done, it means we're not expecting any more costs, and suddenly my ECC went to this instead of this budget that we were expecting. So now it's showing 200 under, but I'm going to uncheck that because I'll be talking about something else in the next video about making decisions about whether to check mark those are done or not, and how handy some information on this screen can be for that, and how you can quickly check mark some of them, etc. So thank you for watching that. I hope that you understand this part of this estimated cost at completion worksheet and what it's doing for you, and how very valuable it can be to you. We will also go over how you can see your revised profit going on based on your current ECC. We'll do that in more detail in another one of these videos. Thank you for watching.